Hello, it is Tuesday, February 6th, 2024. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It's a Tuesday crossword today, so it shouldn't be too challenging, and it is another relatively rushed morning for me, so that works out well. And this relatively rushed edition of the Daily Solve has been brought to us by Josh Lucas, Alex, Laura Sexton, and as always, the indomitable Showmaster. So thank you so much to the four of them. They're benefactors of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign, which means they keep this series going day in, day out. I'm very grateful to them for that support. So thanks to those four, but thank you to everybody as well who's a patron of the Daily Solve Discord, well, of the Daily Solve Patriot campaign, I should say, which does get you access to an extra channel in the Daily Solve Discord channel, speaking of that, but also you get the bonus videos available to all patrons and the Let's Check the Crosses official mug to benefactors. You can find all of that at patreon.com/dailysolve or via the description field link. Speaking of that Discord chat server, it's broadly speaking, it's free for anyone to join, and it's a nice friendly chat community which can be found in the description field as well. So check that out. And finally, there is also the ability to support the channel in other ways that I appreciate equally, such as subscribing to the channel, commenting on the videos, liking the videos, and so on. So thanks if you've done any of those things as well. Now let's get on to the crossword itself. This is a Tuesday-themed crossword by Victor Baracus, who's constructed, I think, around 24 puzzles for the New York Times. It was edited, as always, by Will Shortz. And let's start solving, see what's in store for us today. Book after 2 Chronicles. Oh, I don't know the order well enough to know that. Stone on a set. Could be Emma Stone, the actor. I'm just thinking set might be indicating a movie set. Let's see. Breaks off a relationship. Ends it. I'm just thinking because of Emma. Lead into maid or man, mermaid or merman, the sea, mythical sea sort of humanoid creatures. To viciously attack would be to go at. No, we want this to be M for Emma. To viciously attack, to maul, right? You could, dog maybe could maul someone, attack them. Brinks truck feature. Armor. So Brinks is a company that supplies armored vehicles for, I don't know, I guess sort of bank money transfers and things like this. Okay. Close at hand. If something's close at hand, it's near. That's very straightforward. And a large container for cinnamon or coriander, a spice drum. I don't really use the phrase spice drum often, but maybe that's what you call a particularly large cinnamon or coriander or spice container. A drum, obviously, an oil drum, for instance. You do talk about that. Woman's name that's also the first 4 letters of a Central American country name. I think this might be Elsa for El Salvador. Somebody just commented in the crossword, I think it was yesterday, commented on my video yesterday, I think, that ETs and they said something else have been in the puzzle constantly recently, and then somebody else pointed that Elsa has as well, and that's true. I don't think of Elsa as being necessarily a crossword standby, but in the last couple of months, I feel it's been in the crossword absolutely constantly. So at least this is a different way of cluing it that isn't simply referring to Frozen, which is usually how that answer is clued. Book after 2 Chronicles, and 4 letters starting with E. It could be Ezra. Let's see. Closes as a fly. Yes, so fly in the sense of a zipper. You zip it up. So it zips. So this would be Ezra then. Okay, Kellogg's cereal with a purple box. Raisin Bran. I think I can picture that. It's got a purple box and a sun sort of scooping raisins, I think. So a bad person to trust is a liar. That's very straightforward. And to follow a curved path. Oh, no, sorry. Followed a curved path, arced. Straightforward again. Good qualities are assets. They're positives. And an online financial company. E-Trade is an example of an online financial company. E for electronic, I guess. That's an E word I'll have to accept because it's a brand name. Abel is he and he is Elba. That's funny. So this is Idris. This is a play. This is not palindromic, but this is a play on the famous palindrome, Abel was I ere I saw Elba, which I guess presumably is from the perspective of Napoleon, who was banished to the island of Elba. That is a palindrome. This isn't. This is just a cheeky reference uh, to that palindrome, and it's a reference to the actor Idris Elba, of course. Like sun panels and flares. Steel panels, steel flares. It doesn't sound right. Steel flares doesn't sound like anything. Um, Not sure. What about this? Tiny matter. An atom would be obviously an incredibly tiny bit of matter, a single atom. Like sun panels and flares. Solar panels, solar flares. There we go. So solar panels, the technology, and solar flares, the phenomenon, I don't know, astronomical phenomenon, I guess. Laundry unit, you could do a load of laundry. That would be a unit of laundry, potentially. And earthworm hunters could be moles. Do moles hunt earthworms? I don't actually know, but I'm going to try it and see if the crosses work, because it seems fairly plausible to me. Cookie and a Dairy Queen blizzard. Right. Well, speaking of things that are clued frequently in the New York Times crossword, this is one of the all-time classics, Oreo, the official snack cookie of the New York Times crossword. And there we have it. These are in Dairy Queen blizzards, which I don't think I've ever consumed. All right. If you're standoffish, you're a bit distant, you're a bit aloof, a bit sort of removed. And if you gave something a shot, you gave a shot, Oh, no, I was going to say gave a shot as in attempted something, but no, it's gave a shot in the sense of dosed. You gave someone a shot of, a vaccine or something, or some other form of medicine. So you gave them a dose. There we go. That's a clever little bit of slight misdirection. And here we have, oh, right. I didn't really think about the fact that this is a theme clue. This large container for cinnamon or coriander, you can tell because it's, well, for several reasons. One, it's asterisked, and two, it's highlighting another answer without referencing that answer in the clue, which means it's probably the revealer of the theme. And also it's just in a position where theme answers often are, although they don't need to be. Anyway, so here's another one. Play matchmaker, ? I don't know. Thought I had an idea, but it didn't come to anything. All right, not yet up. You're in bed? No. Why did I write raisin drum? Sorry. Spiced drum, raisin drum. Not all the answers need to end with drum. That's a tip for the crossword. Not all answers end with drum. Some of them end with bran, actually. And then the rest end with something else. All right, play matchmaker. So, oh no, what was the one? In bed, yes, this is the one that clued me into my ludicrous typo. At least I noticed that one without filling everything in around it. All right, so there we go. I think I went yesterday without any typos. Managed to break that one-day streak already. Number for John Tyler or Alexander Hamilton. Number. I was thinking this is the number president they were. John Tyler, I'm guessing, was 10. Alexander Hamilton certainly wasn't. Oh, but he's on the $10 bill. Oh, right. Okay, there we go. So they're both, this is a number for both of them in different ways. I mean, obviously, two different people couldn't be the same numbered president. That doesn't make any sense. So that was a silly thing to think initially. But it probably is the case for John Tyler. I'm guessing that's what that refers to. Boy, I think, I could be wrong about this. I think it was John Tyler who, I guess the 10th president, I think had grandchildren still alive relatively recently. I mean, certainly within my, recently enough that I remember reading about it when it was still true. And I just remember thinking that is utterly ludicrous. I mean, apparently he had some children very late in his life, and then those, one of his children then had children, presumably again at a relatively advanced age. And I just think that is just unbelievable to imagine. Anyway, I hope I'm not misremembering or miscommunicating that in any way. Here we have dust-ups, tiffs, so a bit of an argument to spat. Blank Holmes streaming film about Sherlock's sister. Sherlock's sister, okay. I think I've answered Enola Holmes in the crossword a few times, and in the past I've indicated I'm not exactly sure what her relationship to the Sherlock character is, whether she's a family member or if it's just a sort of totally different series where they're just using the Holmes name, but she's not part of that same world. But nope, apparently his sister, so there we go. Now I know. Okay, play matchmaker. Formed alliances? Formed to play? No, form. It doesn't make any sense. Play, formed. Play, to play matchmaker is to form. Okay, sorry, I don't quite understand this. It doesn't feel like this can be the case. It seems like the tense is wrong. Kitchen counters. To lose steam would be to flag, to slow down, to tire. Seasonal workers in red suits are Santas, mall Santas, for instance. So what is this? Kitchen counters. Oh, egg timers. Oh, forged dalliances? Oh, spiced rum. Ah, I see what's going on in this clue. Forged alliances is a phrase, but to play matchmaker might be to forge a dalliance. In other words, to contrive a sort of flirtation or tryst between other people. So you could forge a dalliance between them to, in other words, play matchmaker, hook them up. And then here we have, so spiced rum is the actual phrase, that's the actual thing, whereas spiced drum is a sort of theoretical large container for cinnamon or coriander. That explains why I was thinking, well, I've never heard anyone refer to a spice drum before, but sure, I mean, like I say, we have oil drums, so maybe that's the thing. Probably isn't. I mean, maybe it is, but it certainly isn't the common concept because we're creating it in this sort of punny way where we're splitting the two words, one character off to create a different meaning and a pun. There we go. Good. Okay, finally figured out what's going on with the theme. Let's get back to the solving. Gist of a Dear John letter. Oh, here's another one of these. I wonder if they're all going to be past tense ending in ed, and we resplit in the middle of the ed. I wonder if that's the kind of whole point here. So a Dear John letter, that refers to letters that were written, I think, to active service members. I think this is most commonly associated with the Second World War. I could be wrong about that. Maybe the first, but letters sent by, spouses, or I guess generally speaking, significant others, could be girlfriends or whatever, back home to service members, breaking up with them. I think that's basically what this was. What Dear John letters were. Il Trovatore composer Verdi. There we go. So loved. So I'm just thinking, if it ends with ed, it would be loved ones. It is loved. It is loved one. Loved one is the phrase, and then love done is the gist of a Dear John letter. Okay. So that's pretty much what I was thinking. All right, 1980s TV role for Brosnan. So Pierce Brosnan is very well known for having been James Bond for a few films, but also I've never actually seen this, but he was in I think also a kind of, I don't know, I don't know if he was a secret agent or some other sort of similar thing, but he was in some kind of espionage or action thing called Remington Steele. So this would be that. Heat almost to the point of boiling. I was going to say simmer, but that doesn't fit. Heat almost to the point of boiling. I'm not sure. Actress Shire of Rocky, Talia Shire, was in Rocky, which I've never actually seen, believe it or not. It's one of those films I've just inexplicably have never seen. But there we have it. Sign up for as a contest. To enroll for a contest would be sign up for it. And game with Lollipop Woods and Gumdrop Mountains must be Candyland. There we go. Kind of sax. Oh, this isn't enroll. It's enter as a contest, because kind of saxophone would be an alto saxophone, is one of the ranges of saxophone you can obtain. And a lender's security would be a lien. A lien might be put on your home for failure to pay a mortgage, something like that. Oh, to scald. Okay, right, sure. I guess. So I don't know that I really necessarily specifically knew that scalding was almost but not quite to the point of boiling, but that's good information. To have the courage to do something is to dare to do it, and to place back on the market say could be to relist something for sale. Pot starter could be an ante. So a pot as in the money that's at stake in a gambling match, like a poker game or something. Deal sweeteners are incentives. There we go. You could sweeten the deal with an incentive, something to encourage somebody. Stand in good stead. There we go. If you're in good, your standing is in good stead. You're sort of all paid up on your dues or whatever else. Automaker with a Cybertruck. This, I have to admit, to my eyes, utterly ridiculous looking vehicle, is manufactured by Tesla. Sort of weird angular truck thing. Perfect. Something perfect is ideal. And designed with passageways is air something, airy, air, designed with passageways. Aerate? I don't know, sorry. Recovers some yards, question mark. Sods, as in sods or sows, which would it be? So if I'm wondering if it means you're kind of replanting grass in a yard, that kind of thing, I'm not sure. What about this? Boneless steakhouse order. A fillet. A fillet is a boneless cut of meat. So there we go. So designed with passageways. Airlit. Recovers some yards. I don't. Oh, aisled. Aisled. As in an, I see, like an, you could say, I don't know, a supermarket is aisled. It has passageways running through it. It's a slightly odd way to describe it, but you see what I mean anyway. Recovers some yards. So yes, it is sods or sows. And then to the point, someone's to the point or something is to the point. It's concise or terse or direct. And that allows for sods. There we go. To jog the memory of someone would be to remind them. And mid-month date, the Ides, beware the Ides of March, famously, but there are also Ides of the other months, and sometimes they're not the 15th. And I don't remember how or why that is the case. Here we have Adeste Fidelis. Oh, sorry, I needed to cut the video for a moment there because I had a coughing fit that I could not avoid. I apologize. Okay, where were we? Tinkling racket on a windy day. Chimed in? Yes, it is. It is chimed in or chimed in. So chimed in is a phrase to mean sort of piped up, spoke up. But a racket on a windy day could be a chimed in, a literal din created by chimes, of noise created by wind chimes. All right, to form lumps is to clot, maybe like blood clotting, forming lumps. A bee complex is a beehive. Retail giant whose first store opened in Älmhult, Sweden, would be IKEA, for which I believe the A stands. I think the A stands for Älmhult there. Okay, unconcealed. Something unconcealed is unconcealed. It's in the public. It's overt, not being hidden. And then to pick on someone in a way would be to tease them on the playground, maybe. Simple nursery rhyme character Simon. Simple Simon was a pieman, I think, goes the rhyme. Okay, and here we go. To change a map of southern England, or, when parsed differently, what you need to do to the answers to the starred clues. Change a map of southern England. Okay. Well, I'm in southern England. Not going to help me solve this clue, I don't think. What does that mean? Move Devon. Okay, so Devon is in southern England. So why is that the case? Moved. Eve. Maybe I'm. Oh. No, why would that? I don't get it. I get the move D part. No, it's moved Dover. Okay, different D blank V element, sort of region of southern area of southern England. Sorry about that. Oh, that was absurd. I apologize. Okay. Yes, I was thinking, what on earth does that mean? It's move Dover, which is a way you could change a map of southern England, but also if you simply moved over. or move D over. That's what it is. Sorry. Yes. So moved over, moved over is the original phrase. The punny way to answer this particular clue is to change a map of southern England is to moved over, and then finally parsed differently, the way that we read the revealer is to move D over, in the sense that you're moving it from one word across the space to the other word. I'm sorry that it took me so long to figure this out. I'm just sitting here being baffled serially, but eventually got it. There we go. Now we can finish the puzzle. Non-text component of a text could be an emoji, the little pictorial graphic, and then is nope, probably. This looks like OPEC. Yes, group that Qatar left in 2019, the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, or OPEC. Cause trouble for someone is to vex them, to irritate or annoy them. And then if you're on deck, you're coming up soon, you're next. Rapper Wyclef Jean is an artist. And then some, home or a room lacking clutter would be neat. And finally, a foe of Mr. Bond would be Dr. No. So analogy, and then finally, analogy words is to. So A is to B as X is to Y would be an analogy. And that's it. That was the Tuesday crossword. And yeah, a funny one. This was an interesting opener. I think I sort of like how this opened because it was plausible to me as a spice drum was plausible to me as a phrase. I mean, it seemed a little bit odd, but not so much so that I thought, well, it's just clearly sort of constructed phrase. I thought maybe it's just a thing I haven't heard of. But love done, forge dalliances, chimed in. I mean, these are quite clearly not existing phrases. So yeah, that was a funny, slightly ambiguous entree to the theme, but we got there in the end with our triple meaning here for our revealer, which I should note is exactly where you'd expect to find it in as predicted by Lyell's Law, coined by a viewer of this channel. It's down in the across clues in the broadly southeast corner of the grid, abutting the eastern border and just a little bit up from the southern border. We find our revealer, which can be read as moved over, move Dover, or move D over, to satisfy the different elements of its clue, as well as to explain what's going on in the theme. And there we have it. That was a fun Tuesday crossword. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back tomorrow with the midweek mid-difficulty Wednesday puzzle, so join me then. But until that point, please do have an excellent remainder of your Tuesday. Take care.